Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. As I've noted in some of my recent videos, most of the XRP chart analysts that I follow agree that the conditions for XRP continuing for another rip to the upside are present right this very moment. In fact, that's a practically universally accepted idea. You know, where analysts don't perfectly align, though, is the timing of this. So some think it's likely to occur, frankly, potentially within the next few days, while others have a more conservative view, and some of them may think, hey, maybe it even takes some weeks, or slightly more than that. But the good news is, whatever the timing ends up being, it's a virtual certainty that it's coming. And on that point, I'm not seeing really anyone disagree with that, not out of the chart analysts that I follow. And mind you, all of the chart analysts that I've been following throughout this process all were able to see that XRP was going to break out, and that it was within the longest consolidation period in crypto history, consolidating in a symmetrical triangle for almost 7 years, and they all called it was going to break to the upside. Nobody knew precisely for sure when it was going to happen, but they nailed that. And now they're all saying it again. That's something to pay attention to. So the question is, have you set your expectations properly? Because yeah, I think it's a virtual certainty it's going to come, but I'm certainly content with the fact that we don't know if it's today, tomorrow, next month. But yes, I couldn't feel more confident it is indeed coming. And we're not going to have to wait as long as we did. You know, if we're sitting back a year ago, even wondering if XRP was going to take place in the bull market, though I didn't doubt that. You had to wait a little bit longer. We're in a bull market. Things develop much faster here. So anyway, but before going further, I want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say are right. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And now as I record this video, it is 5:54 a.m. Central Time, which is my time zone, on Sunday, January 5th, 2025. XRP at $2.35. Actually, let me just say it's down to $2.35. And I rather enjoy saying that because the fact that I can say that XRP's down and the figure starts with a 2 and then a period after that still blows my simple little Moon Lambo mind, having been here since 2017, because it's been well below $1 for almost the entire time I've been here. To say that it's dropped to $2.35, it's a purely magical moment for me. But it was at $2.50 the other day. Doesn't matter. We're chopping sideways still. We won't forever. Here's Bitcoin, though, at $97,658. That thing's going to start ripping to the upside at some point. I'd be willing to bet as well. This party's not over. We're not seeing sufficient top indicators, which I will continue to cover as we go through the end phase of this bull cycle, which is where we're at, chronologically. Here's a post from chart analyst Crypto Insight UK. Bitcoin dominance breaking down. Keep an eye on this. We've been discussing it a lot. ETH and Bitcoin dominance are key signals. Okay, so this is true. When ETH starts to take off, that's a major signal because ETH, being the number 2 coin in terms of market cap historically, when that thing gets hot, alts start ripping on the whole. So everything else in your altcoin portfolio, probably on the whole going to fare well. Now, it doesn't mean they'll literally all pop off exactly at the same time in terms of the parabolic rallies, but typically the entire asset class is going to rise at the same time. So that's one thing. And then there's Bitcoin dominance. Even though the price of Bitcoin can and will continue to go up if history rhymes with itself, the dominance of the market percentage-wise will decrease because more money will be flowing into altcoins and some of that will be coming from Bitcoin. That's what that signals. So then the question is, are we seeing that? Well, yes, we're still going that direction. Here's a post from Charting Guy. He wrote, Bitcoin dominance lower, high, check. ETH BTC, higher low, check. Once Bitcoin dominance makes a lower low and ETH BTC makes a higher high, we will 100% confirm the trend shift in these two charts, and alt season will pick up even more. It's already been very obvious the past 2 months, but this will add confirmation. This will happen in the coming days/weeks. So look, if XRP needs to move when the rest of the market moves, even if it's days or weeks, well, it's effectively imminent, depending on what that means to you. It's basically here, though. Check out this. There was this post from chart analyst Dom talking about Bitcoin, and he said, and Tether, Bitcoin, USDT basis has shifted perfectly flat after weeks of strong discount. Check each time we shifted from weeks of red to green, it has signaled the shift of multi-week trends. While not always an immediate effect, this shows risk has begun re-entering the market. And then he says, flip 100K and it's lights on. And so if there's less demand for stable coins, like if those are flowing into the market, what do you think that means? Then there's also this post, also from Dom. He said, XRP order flow update. More evidence that Binance is the true driver behind price action. And I'll pause, and of course, Binance, the largest cryptocurrency exchange on the planet by volume. So I'm actually not surprised to see what he's stating here. But again, he says, more evidence that Binance is the true driver behind price action. Last night, we saw massive spot buying from Binance within a 5-minute period that effectively ate and cleared the sell walls at $2.50. However, I warned above about a deviation that is exactly what we saw. We never saw continuation of them buying. You can check the yellow line for those of you looking at the screen. You can see what he's talking about. Good news now is that the next time we attempt the break of $2.50, it will be much easier as these sell walls are gone. That little pump last night basically cleared them. Yeah, and so I don't want to read the whole post above, but I'll scroll up to just point out that he was talking about a 3 million sell wall for XRP. He's saying that's pretty much eaten up, so there's going to be less people attempting to sell at that range next time we get there. Should be much easier to burst through. He also shared this post, XRP price update. The lines I drew a few days back have been pretty accurate. Bulls attempted a full break above resistance zone last night, but failed to hold it. Deviation, longs trapped. This is why I emphasize the idea of flipping the zone. Price needs to accept above to flip. For now, I can see some more chop, staying patient. As long as those VWAP bands are being held, this stays bullish, and at any point can attempt a full break and flip of this level we have been flirting with. So he's certainly of the mindset that it could be any moment where we do see that burst to the upside. And again, on the timing of this, like I was saying at the outset of the video, ask a different analyst, get a different opinion. But the important thing is that they all agree this thing is coming. And the vast majority of the time that the analysts that I follow agree on something, that thing happens. It's not a guarantee. Sometimes the improbable happens, but strong majority of the time that they agree on something, they are right. And if they're right, you know, the impact this is going to have on so many people that have been holding XRP for so long, it's not too much to say it will absolutely be life-changing. I am certain of that. We're talking about new all-time high territory. Here's a post from chart analyst Captain Fabic. And this post was actually from September 28th of 2024. So well before the United States election, which is what really set things off in a good, roughly, call it about 6 weeks before XRP really started ripping to the upside. So again, September 28th, he shares this XRP price chart. And he drew trend lines going back to the high of the previous cycle. So going back years, and he wrote, seems like XRP finally is heating up for massive breakout. Midterm target, $2.30. Well, folks, we're above that right now. And this was just several months ago, roughly, right? At the time he posted this, though, XRP was about 60 cents, it looks like. And again, that's September 28th. So if you were listening to him, you're like, oh, gosh, so it's massive breakout. Sounds like it's going to happen soon, right? And then a day could pass, be like, well, it's still like a day passed. Isn't it happening now? Like it should be imminent, right? Look at what he drew. Look at that chart. Look at where he drew the lines. And then a few days pass. You're like, there's still nothing? It's not going to happen, is it? It's never going to happen. What's going on? This guy must be wrong. You could say a week passes. Same thing. 2 weeks pass. Oh, my God, that Captain Fabic, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, right? A month passes. Oh my God, it's still not going. It's never going to happen. There's Captain Fabic. There's so many other analysts saying it's going to happen. It just hasn't gone yet. Then you fast forward 6 weeks and you're like, oh, bitch, this thing going up. and that was just the start of the fun part for the first leg up. We know that thing ran up to $2.90. My point being, this is just one example here. Tons of analysts, though, were drawing the same or similar lines for long periods of time saying, look, guys, this could break at any moment. None of them knew for sure exactly when it was, but they saw something in the charts. They knew it was going to break. It couldn't stay ranging there forever, especially as volatility was decreasing. Eventually, that thing had to burst as it was approaching the apex of the symmetrical triangle. Of course it was going to. That's the point. So, yes, if you read that at that point, you still had to wait a good 6 weeks roughly for the real fun fireworks of the first leg up to start. That's true. But was he right? Were all those analysts correct? Yes. And they all agreed. Almost 100% of the analysts that I was following at that point in time were saying roughly the same thing. If you were following me on this YouTube channel back then, you know that's true. And what I'm telling you is they're saying the same thing again. So if it doesn't, if you're feeling a little bit impatient, well, stop. You know, like it keeps saying it, and it's not happening. It's not happening. Like, we just had our first leg up. We're in a seriously like the most exciting part of the bull run, just about leading up to it anyway. You know, the very tippy top of it. What more do you actually need to be convinced like this is what's most probable? While admitting, of course, I don't know, you don't know, none of us know for sure what's going to happen. But what would it take to convince you that it doesn't make sense to worry about that? So then why be impatient, though? It's a virtual certainty. And that's why I was highlighting this post from September, just to note, it's like it's kind of a similar position where now we're waiting for the next thing. So we were waiting for a thing then, we're waiting for a thing now. And some people actually do get impatient. But man, like, I'll tell you, especially if you're new to XRP, let me tell you this. A few years ago, like in the depths of the bear market, let me just assure you that was much more challenging for people. Much, much more challenging. But now that we're in the throes of the bull run, things develop much, much, much faster. So that's the good news. And so here's a post November 13th, also from Captain Fabic. And things were obviously heating up then. This is after the election. It looks like price of XRP is at 71 cents. And he said, XRP is once again breaking out of the massive symmetrical triangle. Midterm target, $2.30. Still insisting it. And he was right, and we did ultimately plow through that, though. I mean, we plowed through that, the last cycle's high of about $2. And it didn't even look like it was a resistance level. Like, we just plowed through that thing straight up to like $2.90. That's how powerful XRP was. That was astonishing, frankly. And then you had to pull back. Of course, you know, consolidation is still going to occur. It's not literally going to shoot up forever without stopping, but that was pretty damn impressive, frankly. But $2.30 back then, that would have sounded just as far-fetched as today, now that we're above that. Actually, we're literally above that as I record this. Just as that might have sounded far-fetched when XRP was 60 or 70 cents, that's what it sounds like to tell somebody XRP in short order is going to jump to $5, $6, $7, $8. Don't think it can't happen. This is not over. And then he posted this. This is a brand new one from him. This is actually just from, several hours ago, 2:01 a.m. Central Time. So yes, a little over 4 hours ago. XRP, another bullish rally is loading. Next stop, $3.66. Does that sound impossible to you too? And he's not saying it peaks there, but does that sound impossible just because we've been ranging here for a little bit? I mean, yeah, we've been moving mostly sideways for about a month at this point. So what? A freaking month? Whew, nothing. Coming from someone, me, who has been here for over 7 years, that ain't a thing, man. That is not a thing. Here's a post from Crypto Wizard. XRP USD chart. XRP screaming $8. The flip is happening, just like 2017. An $8 XRP is coming in higher time frame. See you at a new all-time high. Yeah, I will see you there, my friend. Absolutely. And again, so he's not promising a specific time, but yeah, if you're looking big picture, yeah, $8 does not sound remotely crazy. And by the way, I don't know if it's going to peak there. I will not be surprised if we see double-digit price action for XRP. I don't know what's going to happen. That will not surprise me in the least, though. Here's a post from chart analyst Ali Martinez. XRP is still consolidating within the pennant of a massive bull pennant pattern. Until the $2.73 resistance is broken, a pullback to $2.05 remains possible before a potential breakout to $11. So he is warning, though he's not trying to scare anybody or saying that this is for sure going to happen. There is a chance we see XRP go lower before it goes higher again. He's not the only one that thinks that, by the way. So I'm just not trying to scare anybody at all. Just be aware of what reputable analysts think possibly could happen so that if that thing does happen and it's to the downside, you don't have to freak out. You can understand, okay, the thing happened. It's within the parameters of what would be normal and should be expected. And there's no reason to think that this bull rally's over. Like that would be what I'd be doing. That is what I do, in fact. That's literally what I do. That's one of the reasons I love getting so many perspectives from so many different chart analysts. But yeah, he says, so even if that happens, still the upside, he's still calling for double digits then, potentially, right? Charting guy agrees. He shared this, and he wrote, and this is also notes. This is from 4:06 a.m. Central, so now it's 6:08 as I record this, so 2 hours and 2 minutes ago he posted this. Something like this could happen, XRP. But don't count on it. And what's he referencing there? For those who are not looking on the screen, I'll just note. So he's got the price action where we're at right now, kind of ranging sideways. And he kind of drew some squiggles of what might happen, shows XRP potentially getting down to actually about what chart analyst Ellie Martinez was talking about, maybe close to the $2 mark, and then shooting to the upside. And so he says something like that could happen, but don't count on it. Either way, new all-time high is in the coming weeks, in my opinion. So he's not saying it couldn't be tomorrow. He's not saying that it couldn't be a week from now. I mean, but you would think roughly within the next few weeks is a reasonable time to suspect that it's going to come. And so that's why I'm saying the good news is the thing that matters most is all of these analysts who are not fly-by-night analysts, they all agree this is what's going to happen. It's going to happen. They just don't know for sure when, and you can't, because even if you see what's happening in the charts and it's still about probabilities. But, in terms of how charts play out, even if you're correct on whatever the chart formation is, it can move faster or slower at various points compared to historically how things have unfolded. So you can't know. There's no analyst, even the best analysts that I follow, they cannot consistently call when something's going to happen. The best they can do is say, hey, here's what happened previous cycle. If the timing's similar, so-and-so would be the time when it might unfold. That's the closest you can get. But as far as actual time predictions, nobody can consistently nail that. Nobody. Period. Not a single human on this damn planet. Not consistently. Here's another post. This is from a really popular analyst, 2Crypto Tony, 487,000 followers. And I said, XRP USD update. Give us that new all-time high push here so I can shed more profit. Raise my stop loss to $1.50 overall. So mind you, he also is a trader, and I think nothing against him doing that, but for most people, and I include myself in this bucket, I think it's a terrible idea. Most people will just be better served by holding spot, whatever crypto you want, Bitcoin, ETH, XRP. You just hold it, take self-custody, and then just wait. I think that's very obvious that any regular person, again, myself included, will be best served by that general approach. But anyway, the key point here is he's saying, he's clearly indicating he firmly believes that there's going to be a new all-time here, a new all-time high. Pretty much nobody disagrees with that unless they're an irrational XRP hater. Here's a post from chart analyst Javon Marks. XRP with a very prominent and evident hidden bullish divergence on its 1-hour chart can be getting ready to enter a major upside move in response. We continue to target all-time highs in an over 33% move from here at the least. So yet another analyst, one of the many analysts who called this break coming after almost 7 years of consolidation, saying, yeah, it's going higher. And look, folks, I share counterpoints on this channel. If anytime there's somebody that says XRP is not going to go, I'm happy to highlight it. It's almost impossible to find here, though. Like I could pull up some people who have been saying XRP is crap and going to zero, and the ones that didn't even see that XRP was going to break out this market. Like I could share you that stuff. Are they worth listening to? They're not really particularly good, but anybody that's worth their salt and doesn't have an irrational bias, I'm happy to share if there's an opposing viewpoint. I can't find it, is the point. That's a key take. I can't find that. And if I do, there's got to be some human out there. I'll highlight it, but bring them to me. Like, I can't find this person. And I was saying the same thing before XRP broke out in the first half of last year. It's like, bring this unicorn to me if you can find them. And finally, I did find one. It was Alessio Rastani. He's not being a troll. He was obviously wrong. We know that at this point. He's the only reputable analyst I could find that said, no, XRP is not going to go. I made a video about it, followed up on it. He obviously was wrong. Nothing against him, though. He was operating in good faith so far as I could tell. And we did break out, obviously. But again, I highlighted that. I'm telling you, I can't find that stuff, or I would highlight. If there's enough I'll make a whole video about negative potential price action for XRP just for the sake of having all potential outcomes out there. I think that's important. I want to be aware of potential negative stuff, even if it's not what I'd most prefer to hear, right? I don't want to have my head in the sand. I'm sure you guys are like that too. So I'm just telling you, I can't find it. Here's a post from chart analyst Stefan is Crypto. Huge breakout imminent for XRP. We're all going to be rich. Well, some of us will be, as long as we are sufficiently positioned and we don't botch this ourselves, because we are our own worst enemies when it comes to investing. But key takeaway there again, he still firmly believes breakout imminent, and this is again what I keep seeing. Here's a post from chart analyst Greg Crypto. XRP perfect symmetrical triangle. What comes next? Here's the scoop, XRP family. Timing the move. By no later than January 16th, 2025, we're set for a decisive breakout. This move will set the tone for Q1 2025. Scenario 1, break to the upside. If we break upwards, expect Q1 to be fireworks with bullish momentum leading the charge. Scenario 2, break to the downside. If we break downwards, Q1 might smell like that fun little coiled up emoji on your screen right there, as bears take the lead. So, if we're going to see that, though, I'll say this, just my personal opinion. If we do see a break to the downside out of this recent consolidation phase, which he's highlighting on the screen right here in this chart, it's probably because something terrible happened on a global scale, or even if it's not some actual black swan event, maybe for some period of time, Bitcoin breaks down, the whole market goes to the downside. Okay, fine. I find it highly unlikely that in this type of excited environment in crypto, that XRP is just going to go to the downside, but the rest of the market rips to the upside. That's never made sense. That's never made sense. So I'll say again, as I frequently say, the best is yet ahead, even if XRP goes lower in the short term. That's not what he's talking about, just to be clear. That's not what Greg Crypto is talking about. He's talking about more of a decisive break here. But if we do see something like what chart analyst Ali Martinez was talking about and Charting Guy, maybe it does get closer to $2. Okay, we've already been there a few times, haven't we? And they're not even convinced it's going to happen. They're just saying, it's possible, based on what they see in the charts. But even then, they're still like, yeah, but the all-time high comes after that. So again, if you can find a reputable analyst who says, no, this is pretty much it, or it's done, bring them to me. I want to know who they are, and I will happily cover that in a video. I can't find it. Anytime you're talking about somebody who says XRP is not going to perform very well or not hit a new all-time high, it's somebody who has shown like a years-long history of irrationally hating on XRP. Then you can find those. I could highlight some of those right now. Some of them have been a bit more silent recently, though, because XRP's been ripping to the upside, and they probably feels like this human emotion that I think they weren't aware of before. It's called embarrassment. I think that it might be creeping in because they said some dumbass stuff about XRP and they were disastrously wrong. So there are some of those, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, we got to be a little bit more patient, but like that one analyst said, see you at a new all-time high. I think that's probably going to age well, like a fine wine. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.